For real this time, after a handful of delays, the latest entry into Ubisoft's long-running franchise is finally coming out on March 20th, 2025. Despite the mixed reception following the upcoming release, fans have been asking for the series to make its way to a Japanese setting for a very long time. Now the wait is almost over, and if you're interested in what the 14th AC game has to offer, here's everything you need to know about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Shadows takes place during the Sengoku period, a time of civil war and turmoil during the 15th and 16th centuries. It is a setting known to most fans of anime and samurai films, but is different from the period in which games like Yakuza Ishin, Rise of the Ronin, and Ghost of Tsushima were set. It is an exciting era to set an Assassin's Creed game in, as it's filled with numerous legendary figures and events, and we'll be able to witness it all in the eyes of Naoe and Yasuke. Naoe is a shinobi from the land of Iga, and is the daughter of the legendary Fujibayashi Nagato, leader of the Iga clan. Being raised by a renowned shinobi, it's no surprise that she is adept in the art of stealth and deception. She holds ties to the Japanese Assassin's Brotherhood, as evidenced by her hidden blade, which features the ability to pivot to be wielded like a tanto, similar to that of Connor Kenway's hidden blade. On the other hand, we have Yasuke, a foreigner in the service of the great Oda Nobunaga. Yasuke navigates the complex political landscape of this tumultuous era with intelligence and a deep reverence for this foreign culture. While Naoe is a fictional character, there were actual historical records of a man named Yasuke. Assassin's Creed isn't exactly his first rodeo, as he's had numerous interpretations in games and anime. Naoe and Yasuke will forge an unlikely alliance, and they will need to complement their distinct personalities and abilities as they, in line with AC tradition, seek to uncover a web of intrigue and betrayal that could shape the fate of Japan, obviously having something to do with the Templars. Players will get to choose between the perspectives of each protagonist in certain missions, offering unique dialogue and insights as the story unfolds. The game features some level of choice and dialogue options, and it will mostly affect the recruitment of allies and deepening bonds with other characters, even to the point of romance. Shadows will also feature a canon mode that automatically chooses the dialogue for the player, allowing for a choice-free experience. The campaign will be non-linear, meaning most of the main target questlines can be completed through exploration instead of a predetermined order of missions. According to Ubisoft, however, the game's core mechanics suggest that there is an optimal path through progression and exploration. Of course, this being an Assassin's Creed game means that it's going to be an action open-world adventure experience. You'll get to explore a richly detailed world filled with diverse landscapes and do various side activities to immerse yourself in it, such as meditating and painting animals in the wild and doing missions as either character. Shadows particularly features dynamic environments where weather patterns shift and seasons change, affecting gameplay in real time, such as enemy outposts getting reoccupied as spring transitions into summer. In true AC fashion, there will be intel gathering mechanics where you scout locations, uncover hidden areas, and identify targets. You'll be more hands-on when doing this because players will no longer have access to the bird overwatch mechanic seen in recent games. Both characters have access to an observe mechanic, which allows players to identify targets, tag spotted enemies, and highlight loot whenever they find themselves in a good vantage point. Unique to Naoe is the classic eagle vision, which helps highlight entities hidden behind walls, further alluding to her connection to the assassins. Similar to older Assassin's Creed games, you'll also be able to build a network of spies and enlist the help of allies along with their unique abilities. Naoe and Yasuke play differently. Yasuke is the big and tall warrior that is tailored for direct confrontation at the cost of speed and traversal, while Naoe is the more nimble and agile type that relies on stealth and parkour. Being a shinobi with a hidden blade also means she leans closer to the classic stealth gameplay of the series. A dual protagonist system sounds like a great idea because it allows for a better allocation of stealth and combat for the player. There's now a proper time and context to prefer doing stealth as you would in AC Mirage when playing as Naoe, but if you're in the mood for some katana action after an extended stealth session, Yasuke's combat-centric approach is there to shake things up. It's also looking to be an improvement over Syndicate's dual protagonist system where there wasn't a big enough distinction between Evie and Jacob Fry despite having some exclusive abilities. While both characters can dodge attacks in combat, Naoe excels at this with her rolls, but Yasuke's less agile nature means his step dodges will have more recovery frames. However, being able to block is something exclusive to Yasuke, thus giving him more survivability compared to his ninja ally. Both characters have their own parry mechanics. Befitting his skill as a swordsman, Yasuke's parry will cause enemies to bounce back and provide opportunities for counterattacks, creating a more head-to-head combat experience. Naoya's deflection causes her to reposition, and while doing this exposes her enemy, it could also lead to getting surrounded when dealing with multiple enemies. Yasuke is able to wield a variety of weapons, such as a katana, a naginata for crowds, a kanabo for some gruesome blows fit for dealing with armored opponents, as well as long-ranged weapons such as a yumibo and teppo rifle. Yasuke features brutal and sometimes graphic finishers where he'll decapitate enemies or impale them before doing a slam. Both characters can use light and heavy attacks. When either is held, it will charge up the attack to increase its effect. These are called posture attacks, which are great for breaking through an opponent's guard. Certain conditions can put an opponent into a vulnerable state, which are short windows that allow for devastating counterattacks. This is where knowing how to deal with enemy attacks come into play. Attacks marked by a white glint will lead to a vulnerable state if each blow is successfully parried, while perfect dodges performed on unstoppable red attacks will also leave an enemy open. Naoya uses a short blade katana for melee combat and a kusarigama that is useful for slicing through crowds. She can also dual wield a tanto and hidden blade, which is great because it's nice being able to use the hidden blade in direct combat again. Naoya struggles more during combat as she cannot block and has to rely on swift dodges and tools such as throwable kunai to get by. Players will have to put more thought and cunning when getting into combat, or maybe just don't get caught. Naoya can scale walls, dodge roll, slide, and use various tools in line with more traditional Assassin's Creed mechanics. New to Assassins but a classic trick seen from ninjas is Naoya's ability to prone. She can hide in foliage and crawl underneath structures to look for unique infiltration routes. The stealth mechanics allow for more ways to eliminate light sources, because Assassin's Creed Shadows puts more emphasis in hiding in the dark. Gee, I wonder why. But it is nice seeing Ubisoft make us hide in the dark again. Give us Splinter Cell again, please. Naoya has ways to distract and displace guards to avoid detection, and is particularly swift in moving guards she grabs from behind, making it easy to hide bodies immediately after incapacitating them. Both characters can assassinate, but Naoya does it better without attracting attention. Due to the Tanto and Hidden Blade combo, dual assassinations are back. Colored prompts highlighted above enemies indicate if a stealth assassination will result in an instant kill, severe damage, or a failed attempt. Previous games' way of non-guaranteed assassinations had mixed reception from longtime fans. If you prefer assassinating consistently like in the older games, just toggle on the guaranteed kills feature. Parkour functions similarly to AC Mirage but with some new twists. Naoya is able to scale greater heights and distances, while Yasuke will climb a lot slower. He'll also break horizontal ropes if he tries to cross them. And let's not forget the most comical leap of faith we've ever seen. For Naoya, the crouch and dodge inputs have been swapped to accommodate seamless transitions between standing, crouching, and proning without unintended parkour actions. Any high-profile jumps that would put you in danger can be compensated by doing a recovery roll when pressing the dodge button when landing from great heights. By merging the dodge input with the parkour down mode, Naoya can initiate acrobatic dodges over railings, out of jump windows, and silent drop downs. Not just enhancing traversal in the process, but also making you feel more like a shinobi. Now, it will pass over certain objects while sprinting, but in the event of dealing with flat terrain while avoiding projectiles, players can also initiate a flashy sprint dodge to clear obstacles such as wooden crates and fences. This can be applied manually on higher terrain at the risk of heavy damage, adding a bit of player agency to an otherwise automated parkour system. Of course, Yasuke also has his share of traversal abilities in the form of shoulder tackles by breaking destructible objects to minimize a decrease in momentum. Naoya can also utilize a grappling hook to swing across gaps, as well as a vertical ascent on certain structures if a button prompt allows it. Sometimes this would require her to initiate a wall run before getting a chance to do so. Players can traverse urban settings like Kyoto and Osaka Castle, as well as natural environments featuring tree and rock climbing, each offering unique parkour opportunities. However, we won't always expect parkour to be a practical form of traversal outside of the towns featured so far, as the level design may not offer a lot of opportunities to use it. While the cities feature more verticality compared to Ghost of Tsushima, we expect to ride horses while traveling the countryside. Players will also gain mastery points that can be used to unlock various abilities abilities for progression. These can be weapon-based skills that allow for flashier moves, and passive abilities that work in the background, such as stat boosts or time dilation for bigger openings. Assassin's Creed Shadows is indeed an interesting entry into the franchise. We've been asking for AC to make its way to the land of the rising sun for a very long time now. However, it is running on the framework and engine of past games that face the question of what it meant to be an Assassin's Creed game. What will this mean for the series moving forward? Is it a step back into its roots just like with AC Mirage? Will it also introduce something new that could affect future games? We're excited to find out this March 20th, 2025. Well, that's the info we have for Ubisoft's latest release. Did we miss anything? Any features from past Assassin's Creed games you would want to see again? Let us know in the comments. If you need any tips and tricks for whatever games you're playing, be sure to visit our website. And if you want to see more of our video gaming content, subscribe to our channel. Till then, this has been GameMate, and we'll see you in the next one.